this all from the kit?
Everything's here.
Yeah, it's a special Hiddur Mitzvah Project the kids from all around the country can do. You can have fun while designing glass and do a mitzvah and help others while you do it.
Not to mention, you end up with a great piece of artwork from the Gary Rosenthal Collection Studio.
This stuff is so neat. Look how he uses glass and metal and gold.
And a lot of imagination.
I can't wait to make my own. Can I get started now?
Go for it, Lana. Okay, so I know we're making cool glass, but how does this project work and how are we helping people?
I've got an idea. Well, now that we're done with our glass, why don't we go take them down to the studio ourselves? And then we can see how it's really done.
Yeah, and while we're there, let's capture the magic of the Gary Rosenthal studio on tape so they can see too.
That is a good idea.
Yeah, that was actually pretty fun.
Okay, so let's go.
Okay, everything's ready. Let's go.
Wait a minute. One last spin.
The magic of Gary Rosenthal's studio starts here on the first floor. The foundation for all of Gary's art is in the metal. And we're just in time for today's delivery. The metal comes in strips. They're almost 20 feet long. Of course, this is only the beginning. Altering metal isn't easy. The Rosenthal artisans use all kinds of special equipment and tools to create different metal shapes. They can punch different holes, cut a curve, bend the metal, cut the metal into pieces, or make a special part, like a wheel that makes noise for a grogger.
Cutting a piece of metal leaves a very sharp edge. That's why this tumbler sits nearby to apply 500 pounds of pressure.
Now that's a lot of pressure.
Lift her up, Caleb. Let's get a close-up. All the metal's jagged edges become completely smooth.
Like this piece for a dreidel.
And now, all the metal pieces are ready to be joined together. A blowtorch welds one metal piece to another. The torch burns at such a high temperature that it melts the brass and seals it. Here's our dreidel again. Before welding, and after. Along with dreidels, welding creates the beginning of menorahs, tzedakah boxes, and candle holders. So, all those separate metal pieces are now going to become very special art.
3, 2, 1, and action.
Each metal foundation is the perfect setting for Gary's decorative touch. And that brings us here, to these large sheets of glass, each one a different shade. The plain glass goes into a kiln that's a very, very hot furnace and is magically transformed into brilliant colors. Afterwards, a sharp saw divides the big sheets into smaller pieces. Artisans combine these pieces to form mosaic designs, each with its own unique pattern, and no two exactly alike. The mosaic then becomes the inside of a glass sandwich, with clear glass on top. The sandwich enters the kiln once more to be fused into one solid and beautiful piece of glass.
Heather, give me a minute to adjust my focus.
Okay. Some glass pieces also get the golden touch. These are designs like Hebrew letters, or symbols, or drawings. And they're all created by artists here in the studio. Each design is placed onto glass through a special process called silk screening. Using a squeegee, the artist deposits 24-karat gold paste on top of the glass. When the glass is fired in the kiln, the extra ingredients of the paste burn off, leaving sparkling gold embedded on the glass.
Not all designs are screened in gold. Some are done in black that can be seen on a marble surface. Whatever the color, the Rosenthal team creates fantastic designs that individualize each piece of art.
Perfect. So, now we have two beautiful things ready to be assembled into one piece of art. In this room, each unique part gets matched with its base or stand. This finishing area is also where the metal is buffed and shined to perfection.
Gary Rosenthal collection.
For Gary Rosenthal, creating art is a family activity. His mother even helps with the day-to-day business. And others help to process the many orders from individuals and groups who all want something of their own from the Gary Rosenthal collection. Gary is a man who really loves his work. That's one reason he's become such a well-known Jewish artist.
People frequently ask me, how did I decide to become a sculptor? When I was 13 years old, I went to work for my dad repairing stoves. One day I learned how to use a torch to repair a broken stove grate. From that point forward, I knew that I enjoyed melting metal together, and later when I decided to become an artist, a metal sculptor is what I chose.
Once the items in Gary's collection are finished and ready for use, they're shipped back to people across the country and around the globe. There's one thing that's even more important to Gary than creating art used by Jews all around the world.
The Hiddur Mitzvah program tries to create these magic moments for families and kids every day. We start with art and then create Judaica, which is the Hiddur Mitzvah of beautifying Jewish custom. For instance, you might make a mezuzah as part of an intergenerational program with grandparents that benefits a seniors' home in your community. Making beautiful Judaica and doing good helping others at the same time is a wonderful combination.
With the Hiddur Mitzvah kit, you become the artist as you turn this glass into a beautiful piece of Judaica, something that your family will use for generations. And you're doing a mitzvah. That's the real magic of the Gary Rosenthal studio.
Hey, cut! Good job, you guys. That's a wrap.
I'm really to see what art is going to look like. I'm so excited. It's going to be so cool.
I want to make Jewish art part of everyone's life. And beyond that, I thought that art, combined with an interesting story, could provide a catalyst to get children and their families involved in Tzedakah Project. So we arranged to sponsor a Shabbat dinner for families in need in Argentina. Or we support a Purim celebration in Africa. Then we help people share the mitzvah by providing a related Hiddur Mitzvah activity. I remember an activity sponsored by the Talmud Torah program in Minneapolis. A 5-year-old boy and his parents created Shabbat candlesticks. Before the workshop, I told them about the need to support the Jewish community of Buenos Aires, and that we had arranged to buy Shabbat dinner for 250 congregants the first Friday night of every month during 2004. And on that Friday night, before dinner, the congregants lit their candlesticks, very similar to what the family was going to make that evening. During the Hiddur Mitzvah workshop, I heard the little boy look up at his mom and say, "When are they going to light the candles in Argentina? Can we light candles that night too?" I saw a lesson in tzedakah that will last a lifetime. I think art can be a catalyst for everything from education to social action. It really is up to the individual communities to customize their own programs. Imagine an intergenerational mezuzah project between grandparents and grandchildren that's scripted as a history lesson. Or a dreidel making session where multiple dreidels are created by children in the United States and then sent off to kids in Israel or the Ukraine with pen pal letters, maybe Hanukkah cards even is a possibility. Or temple youth groups can have a booth as part of Mitzvah Day and help synagogue members create family heirlooms while at the same time raising money for a designated cause. It really is up to the community. Use your imagination.
If you want to sponsor a Hiddur Mitzvah event in your community, email the Gary Rosenthal Collection